Okay, so I'd like to hear you tell about how it was to do the prayers.
Well, one thing I learned before I started the prayers is that each time when you do or read the prayer, you need to get a signal. So it's very important to get a signal.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The prayers I find were very inspiring, which is quite good. And another thing I noticed with the prayers is that some of the prayers I did not get a signal on. Well, to be honest with you, it was most of them. I wasn't getting the signal at all on most of the prayers, but I got a signal on a few, so that's a positive thing.
So you started out getting a signal on some prayers. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
And then I also learned that the reason why most likely that I wasn't getting a signal on most of the prayers is because I'm not really up to that level, if that's the correct word to use. I'm not quite there yet for those,
yeah,
or too ready for those prayers yet.
Yeah.
But the ones that I did, that they're okay. Those are the ones that I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're not getting a signal on something and you want to do it, for example, suppose you're saying I'm now curing my cancer, or I'm now removing cancer from all my bodies. And you have to get a signal, you have to get the cancer out. And what you do is you just kind of stick with it and keep intending to do it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And also feel what's going on.
At the same time,
yeah. Just feel yourself and feel what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. It's good that you're telling me this, because this is like a reinforcement of what you're saying, because what you've actually said, I've actually heard other IMMUNICS talk about this on the MP3 in the web college.
Yes, now things are coming together for you where you're remembering that you heard things before.
That's right.
You're actually assimilating this. People don't realize that they have to assimilate this.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that they're not hearing what they're hearing. Like, you didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Or the second, or the third.
That's right.
So this is how you do the prayers. You simply, see if you can feel what you would feel if you were doing what the prayer says.
Right, okay.
And, stick with that. Search for that feeling.
Okay.
Now, are you hearing this? Good question, right? Are you hearing what I'm saying now?
I am, yeah. I am.
You may or may not be. There's no way to know.
That's true. It was some. But what you just said is pretty true, because I'll be doing this tonight when I go into the prayers. When I'm doing the prayers, just try and feel, or get the feedback from what the prayers, is trying to say to me. I think sometimes I just tend to rush through.
Yes.
Sometimes I tend to rush through it, and I think this time I should really take my time and just absorb, the surroundings of the prayer.
Well, I'll tell you what, even one of those things in the prayers changes you forever if you just do it once.
Okay.
It changes you forever if you just do it one time. And it may also change the entire world forever if you just do it one time. So the thing to think about is, if you get to a prayer get to one of the actions in the prayer. The prayers are lists of actions to do. They're lists of immunic actions. And if you get to one of those actions, then you can't get a signal right away. Just think about it this way. If you spend the rest of the evening just getting to that signal, you've really accomplished something.
Okay.
Now, you started actually doing this around about a week before you started your chemo, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. And prior to that, you actually got a password around 5 months before that and never did anything to it, with it.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Now, if you stop to think about it, that's pretty tragic, isn't it?
It is. That was a complete waste of time and space. I mean, considering of what I've achieved so far in these last couple of weeks, I could have achieved a lot more if I had started about 5 months ago.
Maybe you would never have had to do the medical treatment.
Yeah, that's right.
Most of the people in the Cure Show who cured cancer didn't do any medical treatment.
Really?
Well, I'm not totally sure about most of them, but at least some of them did not do any medical treatment.
Okay. Yeah, you see, so in other words, I could have avoided that if I had started.
It's possible.
Yeah. It's possible.
I mean, all of them were diagnosed by doctors, generally at hospitals, with many, many tests. But quite a few of them did not. Well, let me put it this way. Let me put it another way. All of them cured their cancer without any medical treatment because, in the case of everybody but you, the medical treatments had either failed or weren't used.
They were either weren't used or they failed, the medical treatment, yeah?
Yeah, they either happened, the cure happened after the medical treatment failed.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And the doctor said, okay, you're going to die.
Okay.
Sorry, you can't, there's nothing, I got nothing else, Or they never actually did medical treatment. They got diagnosed and then did this. They didn't start medical treatment.
I understand, yeah. So, have you come across anyone who has, been through the medical treatment and using this at the same time?
Yes. Yes, the woman who I first cured, Edith, did medical treatment and this simultaneously.
Oh, Edith, yes, okay.
Yeah, her
right, so there's hope for me. I didn't want to feel like I was in the boat by myself, okay.
Edith's doctor told her he never saw anybody recover as fast as she did with that treatment.
Right. Good. That's quite inspiring. I just want to get on with this. I really do, actually. Just got to be able to, get into those web colleges and, listen to the videos and the MP3s and the stories that people are telling. Because they are quite inspiring. They really are.
Yes, yes.
Some good people out there.
Well, what we could think about here is, like you were talking about all you've achieved in the last few weeks. And actually, in the last few weeks, I would say, how long ago did you start, actually, with this? It was about a week before your treatment started, so how many weeks is that?
Let's say between 4 to 5 weeks now.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 4 to 5 weeks. And when you started, you were at stage 3 breast and bone cancer.
That's right.
Now, at this point, I want you to just test. What stage is your cancer at? 1, 2, 3. Just test, get a number that you... Let's see if it's rolled back or gotten worse.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
2. I'm getting a signal at 2.
Okay, so you rolled it back from stage 3 to stage 2.
Yeah.
That's what you've achieved in 5 weeks.
Wow.
And that includes medical treatment you've had as well.
Yeah.
Now, that's another thing to talk about, because you're taking some very poisonous drugs, and what should you be feeling? Like, what should the symptoms of these drugs be?
The symptoms of these drugs should be nausea, where I'm vomiting, also fatigue, feeling very tired, probably to the point now where I have to be assisted by hospital transport, you know, where they come take me from my house and bring me to the hospital. What else? Probably my tongue should be grey, like no colour in the tongue, like it's not pink anymore.
Right.
I should be in my wrists and my ankles. I should be experiencing great pain in my ankles and in my wrists. And I should be also getting extreme numbness or pins and needles in my fingers,
right,
the tips of my fingers. Yeah.
Okay.
But to be quite honest with you, I am getting, well, it's not actually pins and needles, but I am getting slight numbness in my fingers, but it's not to the degree that the doctor was explaining to me that it should be.
Yeah.
You know?
So you have that as a slight symptom. Do you have any other of these symptoms?
One more symptom around my ankles. Some nights, not all nights, just some nights I might get pains in both ankles.
Okay, so occasionally you get the pains that the doctor talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's about it. I don't get tired.
You don't get...
And I'm not vomiting. Yeah, I'm not getting tired, and I don't vomit. And and because of that, my family are very concerned. Yeah, I'm to be honest with you, I'm doing quite the opposite. I'm laughing. I'm extremely happy. I'm dancing, which shocks me sometimes. And I'm thinking of joining this place down the road where they do. I can't remember the road, the proper word, but it's like Latin American dancing. You know, I stopped by there last week and I got the leaflet. You know, to come and do Latin American dancing. You know, I just feel, you know, I don't know. I'm just feeling very happy and very confident. Even to be on YouTube, you know, I notice I notice a difference in myself. I'm a bit more confident than when I first started 5 weeks ago.
Well, you seem extremely confident to me.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I'm telling you, IMMUNICS works. It does work, honestly. Because I've been depressed and what's the opposite of not being confident? Or when I say not being confident.
You were depressed for years.
Yeah, I have.
You were depressed way before you started taking the drugs.
Oh yes, I was. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. See, at this point, you should be like miserable. This
I
is,
should, because I'm on chemo, and I should.
well, this is
Yeah.
exactly the way Edith was when she was on chemo.
Right. Okay.
And her cancer just disappeared, within, it was, it ended before before it was scheduled to. So that's how her treatment went.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the point is that you can use this, you can do IMMUNICS with your treatment, and just, it's like you're not in treatment, basically. You're just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
You're just, basically you're totally, because the pains in your hands and ankles really aren't that bothering you that much.
That's right. It's not bothering me that much, and it's not every night that I have this pain in my ankle. So.
Also, what I noticed when you started, this was about 3 weeks ago, and one of the symptoms of the medication is also a nosebleed.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. How did they manage to stop your nosebleed?
Well, according to them, they were saying it's because of the chemotherapy.
How'd they stop it?
Taking.
How did they make it stop?
That's all they said. Is the chemo. That's all. I remember when I went into hospital. That time when I had a bad case of it. I was on a drip. I remember I was on the drip, and inside the drip was some sort of medication. I can't remember what it was again.
Okay, so they gave you a medication to make the nosebleed stop.
Yeah, that's right. At that time when I had a case of the nosebleed that was very bad. Yeah.
So now that nosebleeds is a symptom of the medication. It's another symptom.
That's right. Yeah.
And you haven't had the nosebleeds since, and they haven't put you on any maintenance drugs for the nosebleed, am I right?
That's right. I've had a few nosebleeds since, but it's not as bad as that time when I went to the hospital.
Well, what I saw when you got to the hospital is for the 2 days before the hospital, you completely stopped doing this, or pretty much stopped doing IMMUNICS.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Basically, you fell off the wagon and you got very sick, and the nosebleed woke you up, and when you came back, since you came back from the hospital, you've pretty much been in touch with me every day, and you've been doing this all day, every day.
That's right.
And you've been feeling great all day, every day. And I just want to give you a heads up that it's quite possible that were you to decide to stop doing this today, and just check and see if you're still okay, you'd probably go back into being depressed, and all the symptoms of the medication had come on, and you'd be a wreck, and probably, in 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Because the medication attains a serum level in you. The longer you're on it, the more medication you have in you.
Yeah.
See, it builds up. In your body. So, you can try it if you want and see what happens.
Okay. Alright, so just explain to me again, what is it you want me to do?
What I want you to do is keep doing this and not get back in the hospital again.
Oh, okay, I'm with you. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you want to try stopping doing this, you'll see whether you're still okay or not. Because, see, the results of this are cumulative. So give yourself 3 to 6 months, and if but you won't be on chemo then anyway. But 3 to 6 months from now, you'll probably never get depressed again.
Okay. Wow.
And
that's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 to 6 months from now, if you forget to remove anything or don't say your prayers for a week, probably, you won't be as great as you could be, but you're not going to get depressed again, or you're not going to go back to where you were.
Right, I hear you.
But it's probably too early for that at this point.
I agree.
So now you got to work really hard. This is the time where you have to work really hard.
Okay.
Now I want to show you something. This is called your assessment skill. Let me just it's a skill that's after skill 1. And it's called Are You Well Yet? And I want to show you one of the lessons in it. And the lesson is called Your Results. Maybe I'll just zoom in here on this a bit. And what it is, it's a skill where you catalog your results.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Now, I want to do a little of this with you. Okay?
Sure. Okay, yeah, sure.
And what you do in those parents is one of them you get the total number and the other one you get how many that you need to name. So, how many, just you know, let's just ask this one question from this skill, from this lesson. There's many things you have to do this lesson. There's like 20 things in there. Not many, but 20. So, but one of them is, how many things have I cured? Just test that.
Okay. How many things have I cured?
Now you'd ask, is it over 10?
Yeah, okay.
Since I started, though. This is since you started 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay. Since I started 5 weeks ago, how many things have I cured? Is it more than 10? Yes, more than 10.
Okay, more than 100.
Right. Is it more than 100? It's less. It's less.
Okay, is it over 20 things?
Is it more? Okay. Is it more than 20? It's more than 20.
Okay, more than 50.
Is it more than 50? Yeah, it's more than 50.
Okay, now I just want to mention something to you. You know how sometimes you say that you just start to get a little shaking or a little movement when you start to get a signal?
Yeah.
And I was saying you should go to that as being your signal instead of like moving your hand around so much.
Okay.
And the reason for that is like you now know that you have between 50 and 100 things that you've cured. Okay? And one way to find out what it is you can just start rolling numbers back from 100. Like you could just wait for the little shaking and you could go 99, 98, 97, 96, 97, and you could just picture this thing rolling really fast, and as it goes through the 70s, you know, see my finger went up. Now that may not be your cures, but my finger went up as I was going through the 70s, and now I go, okay, it was around, it's 75, and I just got a number. It's just like that.
Okay.
So you can process data really, you got to speed up your processing of data.
Okay.
You got to be a faster computer. So right now, we're going to say that, you know, we'll leave you to do that later.
Yeah, I need to practice that.
You have to practice that, so we can't really demonstrate that anymore in the movie, but you'll practice it when you get off. Now,
okay, yeah.
Okay, now next thing is, how many do I need to name right now, or within the next few hours as I access them? So you want to get a number for that. Is it over 10? So see if you can do what I just said to you. Just say is it over 10 and see if a shaking comes.
Okay, and okay.
How many do I need?
Where do I go from there? Over 10 and then roll back?
No, is it over 10? See if a shaking comes, and if no shaking comes, then you would roll back from 10. So you say, is it over 10? And you look.
Is it over 10?
You give it a sec.
No.
Give it a second to see if anything comes. Yeah? No?
Nope, nothing.
Okay, so then you go 9, 8, 7.
Okay. Okay. Is it over 10? Right, I'm not getting anything. 9.
8.
8.
Go faster.
7.
Speed it up.
Yeah, 7.
Okay, it's 7. Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay.
You know what? I'm kind of like skeptical that if I go too fast, I'm gonna miss it. The shaking. Yeah.
You gotta go fast. By the way, just as far as the symptom of grayness in your tongue, is that one of the things I cured?
Concerning the grayness in my tongue, is that one of the things that before I'm saying it, I'm getting a signal already.
Okay, so
I'm actually finished the sentence.
So I'm
taking that as a yes.
Okay, so that's what it is to name those things. You just named one. Okay. Now, just so we all know, just come forward to the camera and stick your tongue out so we can see your tongue. Come on.
Okay.
We want to see how pink your tongue is. Your tongue is not showing any. Okay, that's good. Your tongue is not. That's good. Your tongue is not showing any symptoms of medication poisoning.
Yeah.
You are actually you've cranked up your organs so that they're taking out the poisonous effects, and the medication is still killing the cancer.
Okay.
Right, because your tumor's shrinking, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Well,
I believe so.
You were saying you were feeling it and it was smaller, right?
Oh yes. Oh yes. The lump that's there. Yes.
Yeah, it's smaller. Okay, good. So it's so the medication's working, or just you're curing it is working, whatever. See, we'll never know whether the medication cured you at all. You may have just cured yourself, you know.
Probably, yeah.
We're never going to know, you know. But we wouldn't know anyway, because it's always, there's always some other thing that could have cured it. So you never really know, other than inside of you, you know what you did.
That's right.
Can you feel yourself curing your cancer?
I would say I go by how I feel. I believe so, because the reason why I say that, because I haven't been so happy. When's the last time I was happy? Probably when I was in my teens. Yeah. I haven't been happy like this since my teens. So.
It's funny, isn't it?
Something's going on.
It's funny. It's very strange that here you are, like, you do a cancer treatment. You get breast and bone cancer, you do a cancer treatment, and this is the happiest time of your life.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't blame your parents for worrying about you.
Right, yeah.
They probably think you really lost it. You're losing your mind here.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because unless they do what you're doing, they will never know why you feel this way.
Yeah.
They actually have to do this.
When I get a call from my mother, she asks me how I am. I said I'm fine and everything. And then the following day or a week later, I'll get a call from her saying, "Oh, I hope you're feeling much better." Yeah, it's like, I think she thinks that I'm in bed or bedridden, and I'm just, there in bed sick, and there's nobody to help me to do shopping.
Angela,
I says, "Mom, I do my own shopping. I'm fine."
You know what? She cannot hear what you're saying to her.
I believe that's what it is.
She can't hear you. She hears what's in her head.
Yeah.
She does not hear you. She hears that is most people.
Okay.
And the only way she will be able to hear you is if she does IMMUNICS.
Oh, then she'll understand me much
It's
better.
the only way. The only way she will ever understand is if she does IMMUNICS.
Right.
That is the only way she's ever going to understand this.
Because, sometimes I find it very frustrating, and some of my friends are the same way.
Well, test this question. I want you to test something. Right now, am I frustrated?
Right. Am I frustrated?
And just don't do the old kind of testing anymore now. Just see look for the shaking. And if it doesn't come, it means you're not frustrated.
Okay. Am I frustrated?
If there's no shaking, it means you're not frustrated.
There's no signal. So
okay, that means no. So you're not, you know what you were just doing? You were talking yourself into being frustrated.
Oh, okay.
A minute ago.
Yeah, I was actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of your symptoms.
Okay.
What did I just say?
You were saying that a minute ago when I was telling you about my friends and how I get frustrated because of the, some of the things that some of the negative things that they would say to me.
Angela.
Yeah.
You don't get frustrated.
No, I don't, because I'm always cool. I'm in a calm, clear place. Yeah, you're right.
I think you could just say you're cool. It's fine, That's
all right. Okay, thank you.
I
know next time I can say that now.
Yeah, I'm cool, I don't get frustrated. See,
it's true. You're right. You're right.
I'm going to say it again because you didn't hear it. That is talking yourself into bad things is one of your symptoms. You started doing it again. When I said something to you about it, you started doing it again. You talk yourself into things. It's one of your symptoms. What did I just say?
You said I tend to talk myself into things, let's say negative things, and that is one of my symptoms. So I need to be a little bit more aware of that, because like you said, I'm not frustrated. I'm cool, but yeah.
Can you use that as symptoms are alarm bells?
Okay.
See, when you hear yourself, when you hear yourself talking yourself into something, that's supposed to be a good thing. You're supposed to go, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting sick. It's supposed to be an alarm.
Okay, I hear you.
See? You're supposed to go, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Hold on. Oh no, I'm making myself sick. And then you got to look for the cause.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Find the cause, take the cause out.
Okay.
Where do you find the cause?
Is it by doing accessing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Also, where do you might find the cause on the hub of the web page.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with regard to talking you can test anything. With regard to talking myself into being sick, is it this skill, this skill, this skill? See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I want to show you. Whoops. The self-assessment skill is here. It's actually right here. See it? Are you well yet? Your self-assessment skill. You see it? Where the cursor is?
Yeah.
Okay. And you click right there, and there you are. So I want you to do that skill.
Okay. Yeah.
And just test through for what to do. Test. Don't just try to do the whole thing. Test what to do in there.
Okay.
Yeah? All right. And do as much as you can today, and I'll hear all about it and about your volunteer work at your church later when you call on your call tonight.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You told me all about it, all of it. Well, it's been a real pleasure being with you.
You too, as always.
Area code 813-672-3419. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.